And we are live!
Hello, nerds. What is happening? Morgan, what's new?
N- uh, uh, Too much.
Exactly. Are we getting shared out there? I'm assuming. I'm going to do the same. We hope that you guys do that as well.
I feel
It's
like we
Tuesday.
need,
We're back.
we are back. I feel like we need, the live from Saturday, like live from New York or Saturday Night Live. We need something like that. We
Yeah, yeah,
need
yeah, yeah. I
a
get you. I get you.
catchphrase like that.
Yeah. We're all different places. That's the thing, right? Live. That's cool, though.
Live from the Disney Nerds podcast. It's Tuesday night!
It's
There we
Tuesday
go.
night. That's exactly it.
All right,
It's
guys.
Tuesday night. We're back this week after taking last week off.
No. And we're not going to talk about the
No, I
debate.
think did we
Yeah.
do fireworks in the Boo to You parade? We thought that was appropriate to have going opposite
I'm not
of we
honestly, I'm
talked
not.
about it. Hello,
I fell asleep last week, like when we should have been
hello,
on.
Audie.
I went to bed early.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? It was easy to do that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It
So
really
yeah.
was.
So if you guys have not already,
We are
please share.
well into October at this point, which is just crazy.
Which means less than 30 days to the meetup.
That's true. That is absolutely true. So let me hit share here.
So yeah, I can't wait. Like I don't know. I can't like every day I am trying to plan another aspect. Like I just went because we talked about this on the
This is what we
episode.
do.
Yeah, we talked about this in episode 4. So my mom's coming with me for the meetup, and I talked about it on one of our last podcast episodes where she doesn't like to do dining reservations.
Okay.
So I went to her today and said, okay,
You need to right now. I mean, this because of what's happening. You need dining reservations.
yeah, I was like, is there somewhere you want to eat? What do you want? Where do you want to dine at? I don't know. There's food and wine. And I was like, yes, but remember, there's only 20 booths.
There's only 20 booths. Yeah.
I'm not
Um,
saying that we can't get along in there and be able to still have fun and do the 20 booths and be satisfied meal wise. But yeah, I was just like, and you know what's so funny is we were talking about Hollywood because Saturday is our we're going to be in Hollywood on Saturday for our scavenger hunt. So
right.
it means that we're basically hanging out in Hollywood all day, all of us. And Mama Melrose was the only place I was like,
That's okay. I'd be good with that.
yeah. But I mean, like every other park, you're like, well, you got this and this and
Yeah.
this and this and this. And it was
Well,
kind
I
of like,
love studios though. Studios, whether it's Mama Melrose or Sci-Fi or 50s, I'd take any of those. Or even for lunch, I would do Brown Derby. I think
yeah.
it's a little pricey for dinner, but you could do that. I mean, if you're splurging for vacation, then all for it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I did mention Brown Derby, but she's like, well, isn't that one expensive? So,
Well, that's why I do lunch there. I love the burger with the pastrami on top. They got a great lunch burger.
and I had some kind of noodles, like a kind of a ramen bowl.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she didn't want to. She couldn't think of anything, so we're either quick servicing it or we're literally going to look at that new feature on the phone, see how long the wait time is, and
Hey,
walk
George, what's
up.
up? Audie out there too. I need some ice cream, man. It's getting cold up here, but I'm okay with that. It's definitely Halloween time. I got some Halloween decorations at the house here. It's looking good.
And I have Jack, which I mentioned in one
Oh,
of the
the Jack
episodes.
Skellington. Yes.
Jack is up. He's actually
Yes.
right over there outside the window. Um, Jack is up, and I have gravestones that I've always had. So the gravestones are around Jack, so he's in his little graveyard. I
There you
mean,
go.
I'm good.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
So it was 2 weeks ago. Lots, quite a bit's happened in the 2 weeks, and it would be remiss, Morgan, not to mention. Look, October 1st came and went, and every year October 1st that's the beginning of Disney's fiscal.
yeah,
That's when it all starts again. That was the 49th anniversary of Walt Disney World, which
what?
is kind of cool. One more year to the 50th. That's right. And we clearly we hope for some really cool. We hope for some really cool things and
Yep.
activities to happen on that day because you usually do a birthday or something. But clearly this year that didn't happen. But it's also when we hear about announcements sometimes like this act isn't coming back or this isn't happening, and unfortunately, and our thoughts are with all those who were laid off from the Disney company. It's unprecedented times, and nothing like this has ever happened before. And we feel for all of you, and everybody here, and all of us nerds support you in whatever it is that you're doing, and we hope that you're back there as soon as possible.
Yep. COVID definitely hit a blow to all the Disney parks, not just Disney World, not just Disneyland, but of course the other ones
Absolutely.
all over the world.
Even cruise lines. Think about
Oh
that.
yeah.
Alani, we heard's coming back though, so that's good. And
Alani
and
did get announced.
Disneyland hasn't opened yet.
Yeah.
That's just crazy when you think about it. So, hey
Um
there, moments of the magic. George, Bill,
we
Bill, Bill, and Bill.
we did post our friends over at Disney Food Blog actually post a way to help cast members, which we also shared because we do want to help however we can. Um, because so many cast members unfortunately have lost their job and they are a part of the magic.
They are the magic in
They
a
are
lot
the
of
magic.
cases. Let's be honest. They are the
Yeah.
magic.
And I'm not just talking about now, obviously, the big ones that we've heard about. David actually just mentioned them, the Grand Floridian Orchestra.
Yeah, which I only saw them at Christmas time, and I
Yeah.
love them at Christmas, and that was a great part of the yeah,
Yeah. And they were actually announced before the layoffs were announced.
yes.
So it's kind of like they were the beginning of the announcements. Of course, we've heard our
But we every October 1st we hear about this stuff, right? You go
right.
back in time, Walt Sweat and Shears didn't get renewed,
Yeah.
or you go all the way. It was always around October the 1st. It's the anniversary
And wasn't
in the
it
new
last year
fiscal.
like the actors for Rivers of Light were not
Yes, it was
renewed?
those kind of things. And then in March when COVID started, that's when the band in England and the UK and the Chinese acrobats and those things all kind of
Yeah.
happened. Tina, hello.
But I think what is a little bit more painful for not only these cast members who have lost their jobs, but of course us as guests who go all the time, is the more well known, the more loved acts, in addition
Absolutely.
to cast members who have been there for many, 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 many years, are the ones being affected. Like I said,
There are
Grand
cult
Floridian,
followings.
yes, Grand Floridian Orchestra, I think 30 years or something like that.
Hmm.
Our friend Yeehaw Bob, I think it was what it was like 12 or
A
20.
lot.
Like
A heck of a lot.
it
And
was a
and
lot.
friend of the show, love Bob,
Yeah.
and make sure you check out yeehawbob.com. That's his page. He still performs on Sundays.
Yeah.
He's been a guest on our podcast before. We've had him on. I can try to dig up a link and look for it later, but
We
we'll
usually
share
go
it
and
there.
even see him and all that.
We
That is,
typically do during our meet.
and that's one act I have never seen. So I now
Uh,
have to live with the fact that I've never seen Yeehaw Bob
in
at
person. It's
Riverside.
quite something to see. That's right. Well, hopefully this will come back, right? That's the hope. We can still hold on to that, and you understand where the company's coming from and the fact
Yep.
that we're in unprecedented times.
But I
Streetmosphere
mean,
at studios, absolutely
yep.
awesome. Love seeing those guys.
As much as we are saddened by all the layoffs, we hate seeing any cast member, no matter what
Yeah,
their
no matter what you
position
do.
is, how long they've been there. We hate seeing that so many thousands of them are now
Sure.
without their jobs. We don't. I don't want to talk about it all night, and that's not
No, not at all, because
to
there's some other cool stuff happening that we need to get to.
yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the happy things. Our hearts are still with the cast members.
That's right. So, we have to at least mention it.
Yep. And of course, if we hear anything or we maybe even be in the works of some way to try to help, we will pass on the information so others can help the cast members, because that's something I'm sure we all would like to do. But with that said, let's talk about some little bit more happier time
Yeah,
if
let's
we
talk about new
can.
merchandise for the season. What do you think,
You said my favorite
Brandon?
word, merchandise.
Merchandise, I did. So if you share that screen that I got there, we could take a look at a blog that has some brand new merchandise.
I want it all.
I know you lounge fly. You're all over that. So that one looks kind of cool. I like the Mickey Ghost caramel apple back in there. That's kind of cool. Mini
Yeah.
cookie looks like I like that a lot.
So this is the Halloween merchandise, obviously, which is a
Hello, Jess from Maine.
big merchandise right now. And actually, you know what? If I'm not mistaken, they've already pulled out Christmas, but they just haven't. It's not fully
It's
posted.
not front and center yet, but I'm
Yeah.
not surprised Christmas is out, right? That's par for the course. I think the merchandise would start to show up, and
Yeah.
Christmas is up. And George, you're absolutely right there with your comment. On the bright side, carts are opening back up. We're seeing some of that. We're seeing that in Adventureland, the egg rolls, the cheeseburger rolls returned, which was awesome.
Yay.
Frozen opened up. Some of the physical distancing stickers are over at Festival of the Lion King, so that's hopefully around the corner. So we're getting closer to things getting more things are opening, which is good.
Yep. I don't know if we want to say, oh, it's getting back to normal,
No, it's not
but
getting back to normal. It is not normal.
we're
It
getting
won't be normal
close.
for a while. In
That
fact, when you see official merchandise pictures from Disney sporting the Disney Halloween mask, you know things aren't
yeah.
normal, right?
Yeah. If in case you have not already heard, yes, Florida is in stage 3, but you still have to wear a mask to the parks.
Yes.
That has not changed. But also, like in this article that we're looking at the merchandise, one thing that I thought was really cool. So, this article's base is actually more for downtown Disney in Disneyland.
Which is the only thing opened at Disneyland.
Right.
Because for the state of California, that's considered a shopping mall,
Right.
not a theme park. Nothing in California is open theme park related.
Yeah. So they have actually opened they're calling it a backlot store
Very
at
nice.
Disneyland. And that's actually what this article talks about too, in addition to obviously the Halloween merchandise, some other stores that are over at Disneyland. Like it looks really cool. Like,
Yeah, there's some cool looking merchandise there for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, because obviously Disney Springs and downtown Disney are both places to shop.
Yes.
But
Ooh, I'm
beyond,
liking these.
yes,
I'm gonna slow down for a second.
we actually have a food guide post too.
Oh,
We might have to look at that.
nice.
Um,
Oh, a Jack Skellington I see here, Morgan.
yep, that's Pandora, which is one of the big charm bracelet jewelry
Sure,
lines.
absolutely. On Main Street in Disney, like yeah.
Yep.
Some pumpkin spice, is that soap at Bath and Body Co?
Yep. And this company Rinse, they usually have a booth during Food and Wine or Flower and Garden or both. And their stuff is really nice.
Pumpkin spice lip gloss of some sort, or chapstick, or whatever that is. That's
I
interesting.
couldn't do that, but their other stuff is great.
I understand. If you're into pumpkin spice, maybe you could pull that one off. I get it.
Yep. So I mean, lots of there. Actually,
Pumpkin
George,
spice makeup. Have we seen it all now?
I want to say yes, but there'll be something else.
George, we're glad you made there. Survived the rules. In your opinion, it's Walt Disney World, and we all love it. We're gonna go. I mean,
Yeah.
from your side, was it good? Festivals are great. I see that comment there too, George. You're absolutely right. Love us some festivals.
I mean, obviously, like we said at the beginning, we're at less than 30 days till our meetup. I've got pulling up my countdown here to do the exact.
Yeah, there you go. Pull up the countdown.
So
I like it.
36
Sorry about that.
days until the private event.
36 days. Cool.
Yeah. I say less than 30 days because I, of course, am arriving before our meetups start.
Good for you.
So
Love
yeah,
that.
I'm super excited. It can't get here soon enough.
That's right. That's right. You
So
know, there
much
was
planned.
one of these swapping through the carousel. This one right here, I wanted to dig into there. We learned that Chef Mickey's is going to be bringing back some. Well, it's going to be reopening, right?
It's going to be reopening December 16th.
Look at
And
that
check this
pancake
out.
there, by the way. Look at
New
that
food, guys.
new food. That's pretty cool. Look at that.
Yeah. Now, I was reading the description for this. The pancakes that we see here,
Look darn good. Look at the cherries on top and the
but
syrup up there. Oh, that looks
if
great.
you look closely, if you look at the description too, there's pixie dust on the pancakes.
Oh, that's cool. I
That's really
like
cool.
that. I like that a lot. Oh, we got more stuff. Oh, this might be the same picture, but that's
George
cool.
says it's not that bad, so I'm assuming that means the playing by the rules.
Playing by the rules, it's still not
Yeah,
the same, but it's not that bad, and that's kind of what I expected, George. It's not that bad. If you're a Disney fan, you're gonna, just grin and bear it
yeah.
and be happy on whatever it is that you wrote.
And I have heard that the crowds are getting there's definitely getting more crowds. So I mean, I'm not sure if
Brandon, looking forward to the second one as well.
Lindsay's excited for Chef Mickey breakfast to come back.
Yeah, look at this thing right here. What is that, Morgan?
Oh, potatoes.
Wow, with like
Oh,
a cheese like Mickey head thing
they call
there.
it a loaded potatoes. Loaded potato
Potato
cheese
cheese casserole
casserole.
topped with smoked bacon crumbles and chives. Sign me up.
Um,
So this is clearly this isn't buffet. This is I don't know that it's a la carte or if it's family style, which means they'll keep bringing in as many as you need.
I'm assuming because of, I mean, granted, yes, these are just pictures, but I'm assuming we're going to um, be looking at the traditional place your order, they bring it to you a la carte kind of thing.
Yeah, Goofy's banana bread French toast.
I feel like Tonga Toast might have some competition once
Maybe.
that rolls
You
out.
know what? I'll try it.
Yeah.
I'll try it. Yeah,
So
Mickey's breakfast coming back is great, and that's wonderful that it's coming back. It's wonderful that that's coming back
I
for
can't,
certain.
and I mean, the more restaurants that we get coming back, the more resorts, the more, you know, things are happening. I mean, great example, Art of Animation, which is our value resort that our group is staying in. There were group rates available. Unfortunately, they're gone now. Um, but if you booked a room with our group rate, and you booked the value, you're going to be at Art of Animation. It technically doesn't open till November 1st.
Oh wow, I was not
So
aware of that.
we're going to be like some of the first people back in, by like a week or so, week or 2 weeks.
Very nice.
So, but yeah, I mean, Melanie, our meetup is actually in November. Not sure when you are going. We have heard the crowds are picking up. George, you let us know. Did it seem a little bit more crowded when you were there, or did it seem a little bit like normal when you were there?
I guess it depends on how you define normal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
People keep telling people he's going to meet Jimmy Horn, and nobody seems to care. We've known Jimmy for years. We understand that
Everyone
dilemma.
cares.
Yeah. It's once you meet him that you understand. That's why
Audie, I
you
see.
meet him.
Yeah, I see some of your comments there. The best of you as well as you get out of the path of the latest storm coming to the area.
Yes. Oh my gosh. All you guys in Louisiana and anywhere else in that area,
The Gulf Coast, just call it that, right?
man, just the Gulf Coast, you guys are getting hit. And I say just jump in Jimmy's car and drive to Disney. Might
Yeah,
want to
that's probably
tell
the way to
Jimmy you're
go.
taking his car though.
Audie, if you're on the way,
Yeah. Melanie's gonna miss as she leaves the night of the 12th.
oh,
All right. Kendra says, staying December 4th through 7th at Wilderness Village, hoping with no fast pass it's not a wasted trip. I don't think it's still going to be a wasted trip. Now, I
no,
mean,
I don't think it's gonna be wasted.
you want to prioritize. You walk into Magic Kingdom and your favorite ride is, Pirates, then you want to either head over to Pirates or keep an eye on the Pirates wait time on your My Disney Experience app. They Until fast passes come back, it's going to be like the old days where you've got to prioritize what you want to do, and you might not be able to do everything, because, and actually, George is kind of answering our crowd question. Studios was ridiculous. Yes, busy. Felt normal. The reason it felt busy is things were still closed.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
When you don't have people in Indiana Jones, when you don't have people in Beauty and the Beast,
yeah,
when you don't have people in The Little Mermaid. I mean, if you think about it, there's lots of people that go into those spaces to watch shows, and that absorbs the crowd.
yeah.
When they're not open, those people are someplace else.
And that
That's
might
the bottom
even
line.
be why. I mean, I've heard a lot of people are having issues getting boarding passes for Rise of Resistance. That might be why, because there's what? Okay, so you got Galaxy's Edge, 2 rides in there that are open.
Yep.
Um,
You got Toy Story Land.
I
Call
bet
that.
Toy Story Land, so Slinky Dog is open. The Alien Saucer ride.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Toy Story Mania is as well. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Um,
Then, of course, at Sunset, you got Tower and Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yep. Muppet Vision, I believe, is open because I heard about a long wait over the weekend.
That's good because that's new. And
but
George, you're right. It's all coming. Just got to be patient.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
doesn't it feel like we have been? But we have, but it's out of everybody's control.
Yeah.
I get it.
I feel like I've been super patient because this is my first trip at all this year.
Yeah, I was fortunate to have been there in March, right before this happened. In fact, my last airplane flight was coming home.
Melanie asked, do they have an idea of what other food options are opening, or is there a good place to find up and coming reopening? So I got my fingers crossed for the Wilderness Musical Theater. So the Hoop-Dee-Doo review.
The Hoop-Dee-Doo, yeah. Great show, by the way.
I don't know of anywhere that you can get the, like, okay, this restaurant's opening on this day. Unless somebody wants to let me know and give us that information, to my understanding, we're at the mercy of Disney saying, okay, now this restaurant's open. So until Disney announces that it's open, I don't think we have it's opening on this day kind of
think there's absolutely a plan somewhere, but it's not public.
Yeah.
Because of the moving parts that are involved here. I really think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, all you have to do is go to your My Disney Experience and, check and see what you can make a dining reservation for, and keep checking, because you never know. Like, they might not announce that Hoop-Dee-Doo is opening, but they might have a date in mind back of house.
They probably do somewhere.
It could be your time. It could not be. For a long time, a lot of the live performances, things like Hoop-Dee-Doo and other things like that, were not there at all because the actors were union. There was a whole thing with that.
I think now,
but that's done.
That's done. I think now it might be more if they announce that something's going to open. Let's say the Hoop-Dee-Doo. Hoop-Dee-Doo is going to open. I don't know, to say it's not true, but sometime in December. Yeah. And they get people booking to go to that, and then it doesn't open. That puts them in a bad spot. So by just surprising people to say, hey, Chef Mickey's is open in December 16th. Yeah. They're pretty confident that's going to happen. They got all the protocols in place, because if people are booking or want to be there on the 17th to experience this, they're going to be able to.
Yeah, and if you think about it, Chef Mickey is in an open space.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's not outside, but you've seen it.
Yeah.
It might as well be.
Yeah. But I mean, just as we mentioned, there are some things coming back. Frozen Sing-Along is back. I know Savi's Workshop is coming back to build a lightsaber. So I mean,
that's good.
Different things that are coming back that include the entertainment cast members, or the performers that are cast members. Danielle does say Rise of Resistance virtually impossible to get into because of
It sure
safety
feels
protocols.
that way.
Yeah. So
It sure feels that way. And if anything, where the story's broken, that's the attraction.
yeah,
Just like Haunted Mansion, I would not recommend if you've never done it before because you're not going to get the whole experience.
right. And Danielle's one of my best friends, so she's even said we have to try when you're here. And so far, she hasn't been able to get on, and of course, I haven't either. So, all right. So Melanie was able to get reservations for Le Cellier.
Very nice.
But our next must is Rise
I
of the
wish I
Resistance.
had good tips on how to get this.
There's
It's
no
been hit
tips
and
right
miss.
now. There's absolutely no tips.
It's a
right
lottery still.
now. Yeah. May the force be with you is all we can say.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
George says, "I hope people appreciate what we have and not complain nonstop about what we hope we don't have." I hope
That's
that
right.
too. I
Yeah.
hope that too.
That's exactly right. And the fact that we can go, look, if you're local to California, you haven't gotten back in.
No.
So you have to be happy about it. And you have to be satisfied with the protocols that they've come up with and things that have happened. Because look, at the end of the day, the media loves to grab onto something negative and run with it. And if there was any way that they could trace cases of COVID back to any theme park in Orlando, they would have done it in a second.
Yep.
And they haven't, which shows you that what they're doing's working. The protocols that are in place, what they're making you do, the wearing the masks all the time, all of that is working, and nobody's getting sick from going to these places.
Yeah.
And the problem is Disney can't get people to go on airplanes to come down as much as they had been, and that'll come back. But yeah.
I mean, I'm sure everyone in Sam, you can, everybody else that is watching us right now know the feeling that they get when they walk into Main Street or any of the parks, and that, touches them right in the heart or whatever feels that they get.
Exactly.
And right now, we all need that. This has been one hell of a year. COVID has kicked everybody in the butt, and unfortunately some more than others. So I will happily wear a mask, social distance, do whatever I need to do to be safe and keep those around me safe, to get that feeling in my heart, feeling in my soul.
Hey, Audie,
that
are
I
you
get.
still there, by the way? I got these 2 ice creams to share with you. I'm going to need a spoon. I hope that they brought me a spoon, too.
Oh.
But have you seen this one? Look, this is the Mickey Classic Vanilla Fudge. This is good stuff right here.
And can we also mention that your kid's handing you the ice cream kind of looks like Thing from Addams Family? Because all we see is the hand.
All I can see is the hand come in there.
Yeah.
So it looks like Thing. I also got an Incredibles one here, too. Audie, what are you thinking, man? Which one's better here? This is, what's this one? Jack Cookie Crumble or Classic Vanilla with Mickey ears in it?
Ooh. Now I want to know.
I'm thinking of you, buddy.
Does the Mickey ear, like, is it in the shape of little Mickey, like the picture? Okay, that's really cool.
In fact, let me see if I can find one here.
That's really cool. George says his freezer is stocked with Mickey bars.
It's the best to have there, Mickey bars.
Yep. Melanie, George, correct me if I'm wrong, but unfortunately people...
Oh, this one's only got one ear. It's definitely a Mickey.
Aww.
That one's only got one ear. Look at that, though. Isn't it cute?
That's really cool, though. I might have to get some. Audie, by the way, says, shame on you, Sam. Classic vanilla.
Which one am I eating, Audie?
I think that's as classic as you can get out of your 2 choices.
It is. Classic vanilla fudge. It tastes like Main Street. I mean, at least that's what I'm thinking. I don't know that it does, but...
That works.
My kids are all over the Jack Cookie Crumble, but the Jack Cookie Yum Yum, that's what they're after. They keep asking me, when are we going to go get it?
Yeah.
I wonder if that cart is open. That's a great question to ask.
That is a good question to ask. But Melanie, unfortunately, I think what George is saying as far as people complaining is, unfortunately, just kind of the world that we live in. People will complain about anything and everything. So I think that's probably what he's mentioning, is that, people shouldn't complain about masks and social distancing and stuff like that to go to Disney, because if you want to go to the parks, this is what you have to do right now. So, yep, I was right. That's what George is talking about. Steve is going in December, so he gets to see all the Christmas decorations up.
Awesome. The Christmas caravans, the Christmas merchandise.
I'm
There's
excited
lots
for
of
that.
stuff happening for Christmas.
Because you've got, for the so right now the Halloween cavalcades are going on.
Yes.
So we've got Jack Skellington and Sally and Oogie Boogie on one. I've
Are
seen.
they using, Morgan, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen any. Are they using some of the floats from the Halloween party as the cavalcade?
They are floats. It's one of those, it's kind of weird. It's like, unless I sit there and think about it, I'm not sure if they're floats from Boo to You or just random floats they have in the float warehouse or wherever they're stored at.
I got to get this. Audie says he can't watch.
Yeah.
It's good. It is.
You're making Audie jealous. Come on now.
That was, well, I didn't want to make him jealous. I just wanted to share, and hopefully, hopefully you have some for your trip wherever you're headed.
Yeah. Melanie, I agree. That is sad.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see. Now, I've also seen.
Yeah, and that's what I said, Brandon. I'm hoping that he can find it for his trip, get some Mickey bars, or as the case may be.
Right. But the Halloween cavalcade, I think even I call it the Fab Five. So Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, Pluto are even on a cavalcade in their Halloween costumes.
That's cool.
So
I like that a lot.
I'm excited to see what the Christmas cavalcades are going to be. Because for the meetup, we should be into Christmas.
And I was kind of wondering, that's why I asked the question, if they were using the Halloween parade floats, because would they use the Christmas parade floats? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to relook at the video, because I was just more of like, ooh, what are they doing? Because, I'm not going to be there to see any of the Halloween stuff in person. So I was more intrigued by what characters were on there than what they were actually on.
George, some of my best days at Disney World were exactly that, even when things were normal. And that's hanging out at a pool all day and then going to Disney Springs. Or what some of my best days there have been at the boardwalk or any of the Epcot resorts. Day at the swimming pool. Back before the app, when you called the phone number and you said from your cell phone, it was probably a flip phone, and you said, hey, what restaurant's open in Epcot this evening? Just give me whatever. Yeah. And you got up from your beach chair and you walked into the back door of Epcot, you had dinner, and then you came back. Those were great.
I have to say, like, it's one thing that I tell my clients, because I work for Jimmy and his travel agency, is give yourself a resort day.
Yes.
It's just so fun.
It's hard to do on a short trip, though.
It really is hard to do.
But if you have a long trip, if you're there for a week, 10 days, right? Yeah. That's what our normal would have been, 10 days, right? You get that. You get out of work on Friday, you leave Saturday, and you don't come back till Sunday night the next time around. Yep. So you get those couple extra days in there. It's nice to have that resort day in the middle of the week.
I mean, if you think about it, we spend so much money on resorts, basically just where we are sleeping. If you're spending all that money, you gotta, if you can, obviously, if you're doing that long trip, devote some time to just enjoying the resort that you're staying at.
I one of the reasons I love Riverside and some of the things they don't do anymore. But one of my very early Sam's Disney Diary videos was all about a lazy day at Riverside. And it was fishing in the morning. It was renting a boat, which they don't do anymore. It was taking the horse-drawn carriage around. It was watching the movie Under the Stars. It's the old swimming hole. It's Yeehaw Bob was part of that. All of these things that you could do at Riverside without leaving. You didn't even have to walk down the French Quarter, which you still could do, but it's just amazing the things they have.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Audie said that he looks like they changed some of the floats up a little bit for the parades to match the theme.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
George is taking one of his 24-year-old employees to Disney. Never been on a plane to Disney. Never been to Florida. Like a dad all over again.
That's amazing, and that's great.
And I want to know,
That's
George, are
great.
you hiring and do you have remote jobs? Because I will gladly work for you if you're going to pay for your employees to go to Disney. I'm a hard worker. I just need to work remotely because I don't know where you are, but you're probably not in North Carolina. Just saying. um, Brandon, I like your priorities, man. You bought a general generator to make sure your Mickey ice cream
I,
stays
I
frozen.
get that. Make sure the Mickey ice cream safe. Make sure you can still use the computer to possibly get Disney Plus.
Yeah. Now, my thing would be like if you end up evacuating, do you leave the Mickey ice cream bars or do you take them with you if you leave?
That's hard to take those unless you're gonna eat them on the way.
I would. Like, oh darn, gotta leave. Well, if I gotta pack everything up, I'm eating all these daggum
Yeah,
Mickey
yeah, yeah, yeah,
bars.
yeah. That's great.
But yeah. So yeah. So yeah, okay. 30 days to our meetup. Chef Mickey's opening in December. So we won't none of us will be able to do Chef Mickey's. We got a new store
So
coming to
Audie's
Disneyland.
plan is just to eat them before you leave, which is why he doesn't have any. I'm assuming, but I
That's
could be
probably
wrong.
and that's also probably why Kathy yells at him like, "Why aren't you packed yet?" It's because you're eating the Mickey bars.
I got 5 more to go.
So, but yeah, we got other things now. Vero Beach celebrated 25 years. I don't. Has anybody ever been to Vero Beach?
I have
I
not.
I wonder.
I've considered it a bunch of times, but just never could get myself to leave Orlando to get over that way.
Yeah. I mean, I know some locals who are DVC members that have, gone over to Vero. I could see myself if I was a local and I was
Yeah,
a
that'd be
DVC
different.
member,
Yeah.
I would totally like, okay, for the weekend I'm going to go over to Vero. Like, sure, I'll do that. So yeah. And then I don't know if we talked about it before, but Tokyo Disneyland closed, well, reopened, closed again, and it just opened last week again.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool. And
That is good.
yeah. Oh, today we posted that it's 20 years of Disney pins.
You know what? That makes sense because the pins all started during the Olympics in 2000.
Yep.
That's when they all premiered. 20 years.
And they're going to do a virtual pin event because obviously, it'd be kind of hard to
A
do
virtual pin event. That's interesting.
yeah.
How do they plan to do that?
It's going to be, let me pull it up. Do. All right. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, looks like you're going to go to probably Shop Disney. I just clicked on. Oh, no, you're going to go to Disney World. And it's going to direct you to
A merchandise event.
a merchandise event.
I see that.
That's pretty cool. $49.99 plus tax. Admission for 2 to the event. Opportunity to participate in a random selection process to pre-purchase event pins as well as purchase any remaining pins during the virtual event. Opportunity to preview upcoming pin releases. Disney artist and merchandiser panel. Opportunity to participate in a blind experimental auction. Video content of various pin topics from familiar faces. Limited edition commemorative pins. Downloadable art.
Nice.
Yes, I mean, yeah. If you're into pins,
That sounds pretty cool.
yeah, this would be really cool. Like
Yeah.
I would definitely do that. So yeah, if you guys have a spare $49.99 laying around, you know, don't need it for got all the bills paid, jump online tomorrow at 1 o'clock and go get some more pins for your collection.
I'm I'm with George on that comment here that loves buying pins, but he collects, doesn't trade. It's funny because
Yeah.
even for my kids, I'll buy the pack of pins for trading. Right? It's
Yeah.
something we've always done. You get them a package of 25 pins. When you get to Walt Disney World, you say, "Here you go." And the problem is of the 25, they want to keep 20 of
Yeah.
them. There's like 5 of them that they'll trade because they have it someplace already.
Yeah. Well, I pin and trade a little bit. If I've got a couple, like if I see a cast member that I got wants something that they got, but I mainly buy event pins.
Look,
Like,
I got my latest bag right here.
oh,
That's the bag that I typically would grab. This is the stash that would go to Disney World with us.
very cool.
And yeah, that's how close by it is because we were supposed to be going so long ago. But when I look through here,
You're ready to start packing.
there's one right there that you'd probably want. That's a Jack
Oh,
Skeleton.
that is cool.
I'm sure there's a whole set of those, but
Tell the kids I'd like dibs on that one.
I'll tell you. Here's what we're after. We're after completing the set of the classic Epcot, the classic Epcot icons. So
Okay.
that one's Communicore there, and the Seas, or I shouldn't say the Seas. It was the Living Seas, right?
Yep.
That one being the Living Seas.
So
But anyway, yeah, pins are great.
Yeah. So yeah. Now, like I said, I buy the event pins. So like I buy one when I go to the Christmas party or the Halloween party or things like that. So I have pins like that, but I do have a pin board and I do
Sure.
have a couple that I'll throw in a Ziploc bag and take down because I'm okay with trading them.
Yep.
So, like, I won't trade any of my Figment pins because I love Figment. So there's like certain ones that I'm like, nope, can't have it.
Got it. Bill's got a great comment there regarding the Mickey Mouse Club.
We just passed the 30th anniversary of the Mickey Mouse Club group, the party's first album. I actually had that album.
Do you still?
I probably don't because it was probably cassette back 30 years ago. It's probably cassette.
Could have been either way. Could have been an album or cassette.
I think
I'm sure you could go into the store and get either one.
Yeah, I think I was still on cassette level. I hadn't been allowed. Mom and Dad didn't allow me to upgrade to CDs yet by then. They just released all 4 of their albums onto a virtual services, and they hit number 10 the past weekend with one of them. I am great. Jumping on to search for the party and having a throwback jam session.
There you go.
I love, like, it was like the new Mickey Mouse Club is I think what they called it from
Sounds
the 90s.
About right. Yeah. That was with all the people that became famous, the Timberlakes and
Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Jessica Simpson, I think was even on it. I think Ryan Gosling was on it. So yeah, I loved watching it. So I remember watching the episodes where they created the party and like voting for the band name. And I remember, like, yes, I am like fangirling out right now.
That's cool. I see there's some others there too that are doing the same.
So thank you, Bill, because I am now going to have a throwback jam session tomorrow while I'm working because I listen to music while I'm working. Linda asks, do they have Halloween party pins? They don't have party pins because there is no Halloween party this year. But I have seen April and Bobby from Pixie Purchase, who's our park shoppers, our official park shoppers for the podcast. There are Halloween pins. So you can get a just Disney Halloween pin, but not Mickey's Not So Scary. Or yeah, Mickey's Not So Scary pin.
Yeah. And that seems about right because those could be reused.
Yeah. Which you want to know, I'm kind of curious. Like, this is just how my nerdism works. Behind the scenes, how far in advance they have to design the logo and everything for each party. So how far were they into the planning session before it was, guys, I'm sorry, COVID, no party this year?
I think the designs had to have been done.
I think so
I wouldn't be
too.
surprised if some of the merchandise is someplace, but I wouldn't be surprised right now if the 2021 design's already finished for the Halloween party next year,
Yeah.
and it's approved somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the so we know like the Olympics were supposed to happen this year in Tokyo, and now it's going to be next year. And they did it very cleverly. They changed the logo. It still says 2020, but the zero at the end becomes an O and it spells out one.
Okay, I get it.
That was smart. That was
Yeah, it was.
ingenious.
Yeah, it was.
So, Melanie asked, "Are there any Tinkerbell pins? I didn't see a single one last year." There are, because the Tinkerbell is just still super popular.
Yeah,
Um,
Tinkerbell is. She's everywhere.
yeah, I'm wondering why there wasn't one. There has to be ones there. Um, it just could have been really bad, like bad luck, and you went in when somebody just bought the last one or something like that. Is the only thing I could think. Um, let's see. I've collected dinner check presenters from restaurants had their name, not just Disney dining.
I that's the so when they bring the check at the end of the day and it's in the little thing and they give it to you and with the you slip your credit card in and give it back. I know exactly what you're talking about. Know what you're talking about, George. I don't know that those are collectible, but okay, that's cool.
They are to George,
Oh, to
and
George
that's
there.
what
I get it. I
matters.
get it. I get it.
Yeah. Yep. Mickey
That's
Mouse Club. Yep.
great.
Britney Spears. Wiley Nice. Yes, this is
Yeah,
my latest
very nice.
acquisition. Uh, Danielle actually got me into the Spirit jersey
That's cool.
addiction. So, all right, if you're a fan of the party, I'm going to check out that page.
That's a group that talk about a niche group. There's a group for everything,
There's a
right?
group for everything. But I mean, you think about it. All there's people who are fans of the original Mouse Club. There's people that are fans of the new one. There's people like there's a younger generation from me who didn't have either Mouse Club, so I don't know, Hannah Montana and even Stevens and all that were
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you know, their Disney Channel, childhood. So yeah.
There was no Disney Channel during my childhood.
But wasn't there like the Sunday night?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were other
You
avenues.
had
Disney was definitely in
pre-Disney
our life.
Channel. You had once
Well,
a week.
no, I had once a week. I had the original Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah. You had the once a week Disney
Mickey
Channel.
Mouse Club. When they sang it different than they do now.
Yep.
Mickeymous. It took me a while to get onto that, but
Yeah.
I'm there now. It's all good.
Yep.
Zoog Disney. I do remember that. My kids would watch that all the time.
Yeah, I don't know Zoot Disney. Melanie saw a pin with Peter Pan with a bottle of pixie dust, which
Very nice.
I remember seeing.
Did he steal it from Tink?
I don't know, because I feel like I've seen the Tinkerbell one with her holding the pixie dust, which was what would make sense.
Heck that.
You should have picked that up. Maybe that was like a rare one that they didn't mean to make, and they just put it out anyway. You never know. So, didn't they just redo the Mickey Mouse Club? I feel like I've heard that they redid the Mickey Mouse Club, but I don't know if I've actually saw anything about that.
I saw something at a D23, but I don't remember what it was.
So,
The new Mickey Mouse Club, maybe?
Audie had Annette, Cubby, and the rest of them with Walt. Yep.
And Jimmy Dodd.
Oh, see. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to, if you think about it, what each generation had from Disney for their childhood.
In 2017, they attempted a reboot. Club Mickey Mouse.
And I'm assuming it didn't do very well.
Um, Yeah, it must not have. It looks like it. A lot of it went to Facebook and Instagram. It was a different format, a different setup.
Gotcha. George wants to know who
No new
remembers.
episodes have been produced since 2018, so it looks like it was
So,
only around for 1 year.
yeah, it didn't do good. George wants to know who remembers Doug live.
Oh, absolutely. In
Was that
the Doug Live was in Hollywood Studios. It was in where Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is, where Frozen stage show is now.
okay?
That was in that brief amount of time when Disney owned Doug. Doug was one of those properties that was Nickelodeon and then Disney and then went away again, just like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came and went.
Don't they still own Doug? Because I feel like I've seen Doug on Disney Plus.
That's possible. I don't know what the agreement is, but Doug was in the studios, Doug Live, and I did sit through that show.
That was
I've
not.
seen that. I don't remember much about it.
That was my before my. I took a long break of going to the parks.
Got it.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah, so
sure you
that
should.
was between Superstar Television and before Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Was it Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Play It or American Idol? It was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Play It and
Because
then
American
American Idol.
Idol was on another side.
Oh, that's right. It was around back. So it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Play It.
Yeah.
I think
Did I,
it closed for that to open.
did I ever tell you I auditioned for that American
Did you?
Idol?
No,
Yes,
I
I did.
never did. I remember them when we were waiting for rope drop in the front. They'd come around and try to convince people to audition, especially towards the end when it wasn't
Yeah.
as popular as it was when it first opened.
Yeah, I did it when I did it when I was in the college program, so I was technically an employee, but there was nobody there.
Okay, to my point. Yeah.
Because they do ask the questions, are you between whatever ages? And one of the questions is, do you work for um, the Walt Disney Company and its subsidiaries or something like that? And I said, yeah, I'm in the college program, but I know I can't go very far, but I'd just like to try to audition. So he, like, as a cast member, he's like, okay, well, let me go ask them. Because, I mean, he's supposed to say, no, you can't audition, but there was literally nobody there. So they were like, sure, just have her come on back. So I auditioned. I'm like, well, you got a good voice. We'd send you further, but you're an employee and we can't send you any further.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
So
know, Bill's got a comment there, even the Power Rangers, and I think it's interesting. There's probably a podcast here that we should tell Ed about of the properties that Disney owned and once appeared in the park and then kind of disappeared. Because even if you go back to the, well, they're still around, but I'm thinking the Gummy Bears and
which is on
Power
Disney
Rangers they
Plus.
had. It's on Disney Plus, the Gummy
It
Bears.
is. Yes, because
Okay.
I got really excited and I like
That was that. That's that time frame. That's the Chippendale Rescue Rangers, the Goof Troop, the all those Saturday mornings there.
first day of Disney Plus, was a working day,
Yeah.
and I turned my TV on. I am fortunate to, even before COVID, I work from home, and watch Rescue Rangers, watch Gummy Bears.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. But it is interesting. I think the two that people are most shocked to know, oh, they used to be in Disney parks, is the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles. Most people are like, no way. I'm like, yeah, they were in Hollywood studios, both of them. They had
I
meet and greets, and
and I,
the Turtles had a show in the back of studios.
I feel like I remember the
Gargoyles, knows Bill.
turtles because my little cousins who I went to the parks with as kids, they were big into turtles. So I feel
Yeah,
like there's probably even photos somewhere of me and my little cousins
with the
watching
Ninja
like a
Turtles.
turtle show or
It
parade
was
or something.
back by Studio Catering Company at the end of the Streets of America on the right hand
Yeah,
side. That's where they because remember early on this it was much different layout back there as far as where you can go. We're talking before Lights Motors Action, way before any of that.
all right. Doug is on Disney Plus.
There you go. Beautiful.
So,
So there's something in there. I love it.
and even the movie was on there. Doug's first movie.
Tapestry of Dreams, Tapestry of Nations, love those. The parade at Epcot were the best.
Yep.
That whole music and just I have a couple of things regarding that over on Sam's Disney Diary, which are just I
Well,
love those.
I usually listen to Dreamfinder Radio, our radio station.
Yes, that too.
Um, and so those things like that come on a lot, and I'm just like, especially Illuminations when the music for that comes on, or Promises, the song they play at the end when they're trying to get everybody to go out. So I'll just kind of like while I'm working sway, we go on.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Bill, Gargoyles. My boyfriend was ecstatic about Gargoyles. So yeah. Lights, Motor Cars, Actions. I miss that too. That is actually probably was my favorite show, which is kind of funny because I liked it even before they brought Lightning McQueen out into it and kind of, put their own IP into the show. Love that show, and it was one of my favorite performances. I saw it
Well, they had Herbie
every
there
time.
first.
Yeah, they did have.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it sometimes without Herbie. Like I remember there's sometimes I've seen it with Herbie.
Yeah,
Then
I think they had some problems with the
yeah.
car breaking in half, and there were times when they had issues with that.
Oh
But
yeah, the car did break.
that link I shared is the Millennium Celebration, which has all that stuff we're talking about, including Promise. Bill, that's pretty cool. That
Yeah.
Promise was the last dance you recital. That's cool.
Backlot tours. We got a couple
Backlot
of
tours in
backlot tours.
general, yeah. Well, the graveyard. I love the graveyard in the backlot, or going through, where they made the costumes and that kind of stuff. That's what Studios was about.
I got to the first part where they reenact a scene from a movie and they pick people out of the
Yes,
crowd. I got to go.
that was the boat, right?
Yep,
The
I
shake
got
back
to
and
go on
forth.
the boat.
Yeah.
Kind of sucked though. The galoshes didn't really fit on my feet right. So it was kind of awkward walking. I was like,
That's
I'm
funny.
gonna fall in the water, but I don't care. This is gonna be fun. So, Promise was the dance that matters. Aww.
That's cool. It's a great song.
See, the nostalgia.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Love it, love it, love it.
And honestly, when I'm listening to Dreamfinder Radio, half the time I'm like, I remember this because I remember we played Captain EO, the whole thing.
Yep.
On the radio station today, and I'm just like, oh wait, we're playing the whole thing. It kind of caught me, and I'm just listening to it, I'm listening to a radio show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
To it.
That's a great one. There's great stuff down there, that's for sure. So
yeah. So if you guys haven't already, go to dreamfinderradio.com.
Yes.
That is our radio station. We play, as I just said, old audio from previous attractions, audio from current attractions, Disney music, basically anything Disney audio wise.
Oh, you'll find it there.
Yeah,
you'll
we
find
play
it there. That's right. You will absolutely find it there.
So, all right. Well, we've been going about an hour. And I'm trying to think, we kind of covered the big news points. I think we pretty much got everything, unless anybody's got any questions, anything, they need help with. George said, had no regrets, but not buying the Millennium fiber optic jacket. Huge failure. $1,000. They now go for $5,000. But
yeah, that was for the Millennium Celebration. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's one thing else that I would like to share very quickly if I can, and that's a project that Ed and Jimmy and I started here not long ago. Morgan, if you could share that real quick. And that is wompratradio.com. Which is a Star Wars podcast, wompratradio.com. And if you drill into this thing, there is, believe it or not, some really cool stuff out there. Myself, Ed, Jimmy, Stan Solo joined us for this episode. We talked about The Empire Strikes Back, and, The Empire Strikes Back 40 years later.
Awesome. So this
pretty cool. So wompratradio.com. Just be aware of it, and you might hear more about that from us here at the Disney Nerds podcast, and you know where to find all that stuff.
Going to be your place to go for Star Wars.
Yeah,
I feel like. Plus,
you know what? Bill does have a good kit. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? And cool logo too. We'll get some some gear
cool.
For that before.
Danielle, know it's not November yet. I'm counting down desperately. We all are. Okay, Bill. Yeah, it
I
doesn't.
think there was a Disney connection there, wasn't there?
I
Didn't
feel
he
like
play in Captain EO? He played guitar in Captain EO.
let's see.
Maybe not. We'll look into that.
Yeah,
Find out. But yeah,
I mean, I
that's
know
not
the
good.
guitar riff from "Beat It" from Michael Jackson
That was him.
is
Yeah, and
him.
I could be
Um, so yeah, but I'm not. I mean, unfortunately, you search just Eddie Van Halen, and I even put Disney in, and it's just about his death.
yeah, oh yeah, there's
Unfortunately,
nothing else there.
so
Yep. Not a good note to lead on, but yeah, it's no fun.
way to bring us down, Bill. I'm just kidding. But no, he was a great guitarist, a great musician. Whenever we lose people, it's
That's right. Thank
very
you
sad.
guys. Thanks for
Uh,
joining us. Morgan, good to talk to you tonight. Next week I think George will be back. So
I
will
know
Bill. So will Linda
Brandon and Audie
and
and
Audie and everybody. And so will Ed,
Danielle.
Jimmy. Well, we'll be back with you guys next week as we get 1 week closer to the meet. That's so cool.
Can't wait. Unless you don't want Jimmy back, just let us know and we'll keep him off the camera.
That was Morgan that brought that up. That wasn't me that way.
I mean, I think I'm as entertaining sometimes as Jimmy, except I just don't have a beer in my hand. It's water. I'm
I
sorry.
don't either. I have a Diet Snapple here tonight, but
Yeah.
I do have. I got my lightsaber. I'm gonna go play with this.
All right. Well, the force is with Sam. He's gonna go be one with the force. I'm gonna go snuggle here with my spirit jersey, and
Thank you
we'll,
guys.
we'll
We'll
see
see
you
you
guys
next
next
time.
week.
Congaloosh.
Have a magical night. Akuna Matata. And as always, stay tuned to us here on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, DisneyNerdsPodcast.com.
All that.
Bye, guys.
See ya.